Will you please put your hands together for Bekah Picard?
A pinky swear is an oath. It's a promise to keep or to hold yourself to. Early in my relationship with Ryan, we sat on his bed in his Burnside apartment and we made a pinky swear to never cheat on one another. I never doubted us, as I consider myself to be an honest and loyal person, and Ryan had shared with me how he believed he had been cheated on in a previous relationship and how difficult it had been, how much it had affected him. 4 months into our new relationship, my mother, at the age of 52, was diagnosed with terminal pancreatic cancer. And 8 months after that, I announced to Ryan that I'm moving home to spend whatever time my mother has left and to help take care of her. Ryan asked if he could come with me, as he didn't believe that our young relationship could handle long distance in such an emotionally intense situation, and I agreed. So we packed up our stuff and we moved back to my hometown. The next year and a half that followed was the hardest, darkest, most heartbreaking time in my life that I've experienced thus far. Ryan truly did his best to support me. On those nights that I could no longer contain my raw grief, I would sit on the edge of the bed and sob, and Ryan would sit beside me, wrap his arms around me, rock me, and cry with me. He was at a total loss as to what to do to comfort me, how to support me. I know he felt powerless. So did I. Several months after my mother passed, we moved back to Portland, and I was still trudging through my grief. I felt like it was supposed to be somebody else's life. I was in a depression. One night, I am having a late-night phone chat with a close friend of mine after Ryan is asleep, and without thinking, I reach over and pick up his cell phone. Now, we had been together already for over 3 years, and never once in that time had I felt the desire or the inclination to go through his cell phone. Even that night, I didn't have any nagging suspicion. As though being guided, I went straight to messages, and I see a history going back several months of very sexual texts alluding to phone calls and emails from a woman he had met at a friend's out-of-state wedding right after we had moved back. To say that I was shocked is a staggering understatement, as the idea of Ryan cheating on me in any capacity had never entered my head. I quickly get off the phone, walk into the bedroom, flip on the light, and drop the cell phone by Ryan's head. Initially, he tried to deny it, which astounded me. Eventually, he confesses to the sexual communications with her, and I remind him of our pinky swear and ask if he's fallen out of love with me, if he's unhappy and wants out of our relationship. He tells me no, that he loves me deeply, and that he's been struggling to feel connected, but asks me to stay with him, tells me that he wants to commit to our relationship and to being together. And I agree, because our relationship was struggling. We had gone through so much in such a short amount of time, and we were both suffering. I eventually, over the next 6 months, I watch why Ryan spirals into an abyss of alcohol-fueled bad decisions. I come across a cell phone bill. He has been making calls to a local 1-800 phone sex chat line. You know the type, the late-night commercials. 1-800, pick up the phone, talk to Local Girls Live. He was talking to Local Girls Live. I confront him with the bill, and after the tears and the yelling have passed, Ryan admits to being in a deep depression and having abuse issues with sex and alcohol. He begs me to stay with him and promises that he'll go to counseling and AA. I don't leave. I don't leave because I don't know how to walk away from someone that I've loved. I've never had to do it. I don't walk away because I don't think that I can handle more grief or more loss. He's been there through the hardest time in my life, and I think I owe it to him to be there through the hardest time in his. He does go to counseling, and he goes to AA, but I can tell it's because he thinks he should be doing it, and that it's not because he's in a place within himself to commit to that level of self-care. One afternoon, Ryan is in the shower, and I take the opportunity to go through his cell phone and his wallet. I'd become an expert detective by that point. In his wallet, I find a receipt for Camel cigarettes, Cherry Coke, and condoms. He does not smoke Camel cigarettes. He does not drink Cherry Coke. And I know immediately that he bought them for whomever he used the condoms with. After I lose my shit on him, I tell him that he needs to go stay at his parents' house because I desperately need time and space to process this, to think about how I'm gonna handle this and what my next move is. A friend calls from Northern California and invites me to go trim weed for a friend of his. I jump on the opportunity because I think this is my chance to get a break from infidelity and heartache. So I drive down to Northern California, where I trim shitty weed for far too little money. I thought I was gonna make bank and had no clue that there was shitty weed in Northern California. Now you guys know too. On the second day of being there, I meet the Todd. Todd had helped to grow and cultivate the marijuana on the property. He walks into the room, we make eye contact, and he grins this Cheshire grin and immediately starts to woo me. He is so uncomplicated and easygoing. And at that point, I was not capable of experiencing any intense emotional connection with anyone. So it felt safe and strangely comforting. On my third night of being there, we had had a few drinks, and we're standing in a small clearing in the woods underneath the stars. We're talking about our favorite Tom Robbins novel, and we were laughing. And he leans in and he kisses me, and I kiss him back. He moves his hands up to my breasts and is kissing the side of my neck, and he invites me back to his place. So we walk through the woods in this little trail, and we get to his place. It's a VW van. That's where he lives. It doesn't matter, I don't even care. And he opens his van, and there's a big comfy bed with lots of pillows and blankets, and he draws me in. His kisses are so soft and undemanding, and his hands moving over my body are so gentle. And when he enters me, I feel no guilt, no remorse. I feel wanted and beautiful and desired. And I didn't realize until that moment how desperately I needed that and how much I missed that. So we spend the next week and a half trimming shitty weed and banging in his VW van. On our last day of being in Northern California, we drive to our mutual friend's house, take a shower together, and have one final goodbye fuck before I start my drive home. At some point on my drive home, my rational brain snaps back into place and said, well, you cheated on your boyfriend. Now what? I have no answers for myself. I don't know what it means yet or what I'm gonna do. When I arrive home, Ryan is there, as we had previously agreed that he could stay in the apartment while I was gone and that we would talk when I got back. I walk in the door and he immediately comes to me and he wraps his arms around me, tells me how much he misses me and loves me and that he deeply regrets cheating on me. And I feel the truth of the last 2 weeks burning in my throat. I don't know how to lie about it, and I don't think I want to. So I tell him. And honestly, I don't remember what I said. I remember that there were tears and yelling and anger, and that he stormed out of the apartment, slammed the door, and drove off in his car. And I sit in the silence of the apartment and take a deep breath. I don't regret telling him. Eventually, I crawl into bed, and that's where I am when he returns. He walks into the room and says to me, I know I have no right to be angry at you like this. Your actions were a direct reaction to mine. And he climbs into bed behind me and fits his body against mine and wraps his long arms around me. He tells me that he wants to make love to me, that he needs to feel close and connected. And I turn to him and tell him that I do too. And when we kiss, our lips are covered in tears. And our hands and our bodies grasp urgently at one another because we both know that our relationship is too broken to fix, and that no words can mend or heal all that has happened between us. We both know that before long, one of us will have to walk away, and we know that that person would have to be me. Thank you.